Hello, I'm Oz, behind the camera is Emerald, and this is Day Trip. Today we're in Malibu for an amazing day and lots of things to do. Let's go. So here's what happened. My beautiful girlfriend who was helping me film this video unplugged my microphone at one point, so a bunch of the clips that we were talking is unusable now, just like this one. That's why I'm recording this voiceover, so I can walk you through the video. But besides that, here is the video about how to spend a day in Malibu. We live in the west side, so we drove north on the Highway 405 to get to the Pacific Coast Highway. Usually from Venice to Santa Monica section of this highway has traffic, but we did this trip on a Veterans Day Sunday, so there wasn't a lot of people around. Our original plan was to wake up before the sunrise, drive up to one of my favorite hikes in Los Angeles, Temescal Canyon. But because of some last minute things, we couldn't do that. If you're an early morning person and want to see the city from one of its best views in Santa Monica Mountains, I highly recommend this hike. It's easy, it's short, the views are insane, and it's not one of those famous LA hikes like the Runyon or Griffith, so it's usually not that crowded. After we start driving, we wanted to have a quick coffee stop because, we need it. We found this Airstream coffee shop called Rusticoffee in Pacific Palisades, which is the small town between Santa Monica and Malibu. When we got there, we realized there was also a small breakfast burrito stand. Since the burritos are our favorite type of breakfast, we had to try it. Honestly, it wasn't that great, but we didn't care because next up was one of our favorite breakfast/brunch places. Now that the mic plugged in, what are we doing today?
We are having a day trip in Malibu.
After we left the coffee shop to walk to our car, we were filming a bunch of stuff, and then this lady approached us and then told us we were having way too much fun and she wanted to talk to us. And we learned that she owned a small boutique store on the same street and she invited us to her backyard, and we said yes. We went up to the store and then drank our coffees in her backyard. It's a super cute store. If you're around, you should definitely stop by and tell Zoe that Oz sent you. After we spent some time there, we left the store and hit the Highway 1 to drive north. After driving a little bit, we turned to Topanga Canyon Road. I know, this is a video about Malibu, but we're taking a little detour to one of my favorite places in Los Angeles, which is Topanga Canyon. I want to make a whole video about Topanga Canyon later, but for now, I just wanted to include this stuff from Topanga because it's just 25 to 30 minutes one-way detour and it's definitely worth it. Our stop here is Cafe on 27. This is a big treehouse nestled between the mountains. It's pretty, it's chill, it's delicious. It feels like you're having a breakfast on your friend's treehouse in their backyard. Hi. What are you doing?
I'm enjoying a tree house. A tree. So many trees.
Food is great, staff is super friendly and fun. We come here at least once a month. There are a lot of things on the menu. It's like a Middle Eastern / American fusion. I am not the best when it comes to food recommendation, but here is what we got. Emerald got the kofte tagine, which is an egg dish with Moroccan-style meatballs and some potatoes on the side. And it comes in this fancy clay pot. It's pretty delicious. And I got the grilled chicken pesto sandwich from their lunch menu with some fries. It was a pretty decent sandwich. After the brunch, we head back down to the PCH. This stretch of mountain roads are some of my favorite places to drive in Los Angeles. 15-20 minutes later, we were back on the road towards Malibu. One quick note here, Getty Villa is right here before you turn to Topanga Canyon Road. If you're into art and architecture, it's an amazing place to stop by and spend some time. You can spend an hour, take some pictures and chill, or you can spend the whole day learning about one-of-a-kind art pieces and installations. I'm leaving a video in the description that explains it really well. If you want to learn more about the Getty Villa, you should go watch it. But it's November and we don't have too much daylight, so we want to skip to Getty for some shopping and more coffee. After driving around 20 minutes on the Pacific Coast Highway, you will see the Malibu Pier, which we will come back in a little bit. For now, we kept driving to north and got to Malibu Country Mart. This is one of the two mall-ish areas in Malibu. They have some food, a lot of shopping, and a few coffee shops. Our first stop here was one of my favorite coffee shops, Blue Bottle Coffee. It's hip, it's good, it's caffeine. You know the deal. These two?
Yes.
Cool.
That's okay.
Can we get a coffee review?
Decaf iced Americano. It's perfect. It's basically water.
After we got our coffees, we start walking around. So if you're into shopping, you can literally spend the whole day here, but I'm not that big of a shopping guy. Emerald spent some time in places like Free People, Urban Outfitters, Gojava, but my favorite place here is the Heroes Motor. If you're into motorcycles like I am, this is the spot. Speaking of favorites, one of my favorite restaurants in all Los Angeles is here. It's called Taverna Tony. It's a Greek restaurant that looks like they took it from Mykonos and just dropped right in the middle of Malibu. They have some great Mediterranean food, good Greek drinks, and even belly dancers. For today, we decided not to have a lunch there. Rather, we grabbed some food and snacks from Whole Foods, walked across the street to one of our favorite places in Malibu, Adamson House. This is one of our favorite places to grab some snacks, come and hang out. It has a nice little beach, gorgeous pier views, and a lot of green areas to sit down and chill.
We're at one of my favorite places in Malibu, the Adamson House. And for a little pro tip, don't park at the pier. It's right over there. Park over there to Malibu Country Mart and take the 5-minute walk because that is free. And that is $40 and a total shit show.
After spending an hour there, we kept walking towards the pier. There's honestly not much to do here on the pier, besides a couple of food options and a small shop. If you didn't want to go to Topanga for breakfast, you can just skip the Topanga and then come to the pier for the breakfast. Depending on what time you're here, there are two places. One of them is Malibu Farm Pier Cafe, and then the other one is Malibu Farm Restaurant. Yes, their names are pretty much the same, so it might get confusing, but the Malibu Farm Restaurant is more lunch and dinner place. They open at 11, I think, and then the Malibu Farm Pier Cafe is more the breakfast and lunch place, and they open earlier. So depending on what time you're here, you might want to grab some food on one of them. Since we just had some snacks at the Adamson House, we just wanted to walk around, soak up the views, and see if there's anything cool at the only shop pier has, Wrench at the Pier. After a little bit more shopping, we walked back to the car and started driving north to one of my favorite beaches in Malibu, El Matador. The problem is, it is everyone's favorite beach, so we could not find any parking. Also, it was a sunset time and all of a sudden it got super cold, so we decided to park on the PCH and watch the sunrise, check out the views, and fly some drones. Look at this beauty. Anyway, back to the road. After our quick sunset stop, we were getting hungry, so we kept driving north to another LA staple, Neptunes Net. This place is one of my favorite places, not because of its food, not because it's famous in the movies, but because it's one of the best biker bars in the world. We're here late on a colder day, so there's not that many people left, but if you come here on a sunny Saturday at 2 p.m, you can see hundreds of bikers with the most beautiful motorcycles that you'll ever see. The food, it's alright. Like I said in the beginning of the video, vibes over good food, always. Here on our last stop of the day, I got a cheeseburger and Emerald got some salmon. It wasn't the best, but we met a couple of bikers, chatted a little bit, and then completed sunset here. And that's it. Let me know what are your favorite places to visit in Malibu.